Welcome along to Milestone 5 in my Spires army build. I'm joined by Leo from Para Bellum as he explains the next steps we're going to be taking. So I've got a core force now that we've built up over some time, and it's very solid. Um, a lot of clones, a lot of drones. I'm getting to grips with it, but where are we going to go for Milestone 5?
Well, we'll keep building on the really elite Aspire Force, and I think nothing really says elite Aspires, such as Lineage Highborne and Avatara. Now, these are particularly interesting because this is the way in which you'll find actual Spires joining the battlefield. So think of the Avatar and the Lineage Highborne more as exoskeletons that are remotely controlled.
Right.
So the Aspire would connect, um, not in a magical way, but it's almost as if there's a pheromantic connection to the actual
Construct?
biomachinery, yeah, to
Mm,
the construct. And actually, both the Lineage Highborn and Avatar are essentially the same thing in principle. It's just the Lineage Highborn is actually a spire, right? It's just
right.
they're using a more powerful version of an avatar. The exoskeleton is personally customized. They're decorated in the way that they understand beauty or elegance, right? So this is why you'll find the actual exoskeleton being stronger. That's because
Okay.
they use their influence and the additional resources they have to make a more
Bes-
powerful,
yeah.
more yeah,
It's
more
bespoke rather than off the shelf. They're
yeah. It's the custom. None is really off the shelf, but
mm,
they have the resources and they can go the extra mile and add all the extra things. So that and especially with the amount of mutations and stuff that the lineage highborn can get, you can really customize it, and there are a lot of great opportunities for conversions for different sort of paint schemes. It
yeah.
just lends itself to anything. It just tried to be as what Spire aesthetic would be, and you can just go for it. Really, and that's one of the things that I love about the Spires is that you can as long as it makes sense to you and as long as you
Yeah.
like it, it's absolutely up to you how you want to build them and paint them.
Yeah, they
So
are terrific looking models and really a centerpiece almost. Like a lot of the models in the Spires build in the Spires faction are very unique and alien esque to a lot of what you see out there. But the centerpiece models like the Highborn and the Abomination are just so striking that I think they deserve a bit of extra time and effort on them.
yeah, I mean, it's definitely Lineage Highborn has definitely taken a lot of hours from my life getting painted, but I absolutely love it. So for this milestone, we're going to be adding one lineage highborn and
Hmm.
two regiments of Avatara. Essentially, we're going to be creating another warband that we're going to be adding this character to.
Okay.
The Avatara are a great line holding regiment, right? They have really high defense, they have high resolve, they have resist decay, and for the players at home that they want to experience that they want to experiment with different kind of abilities, you'll notice that a lot of the power boosting abilities will result in decay at the end. Let's say decay 2 or decay 3, depending on the ability. Now, decay resist decay 1 means that it reduces that decay value by 1. So potentially, they'll take less damage when it comes to buffing them up.
Okay.
So what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be going to the character list
Okay.
and we're going to be adding a lineage highborn.
Okay. This will obviously take us over our 1,500 points. What should we be aiming
That will
for
be
milestone 5?
1800.
Okay. I'll do that so the army list doesn't scream at me so much.
It's quite aggressively telling you that exceeded the points. Okay, and then we're gonna add two regiments of Avatara to the
Okay.
lineage Highborn's warband.
So two of those.
Now we're gonna do a little bit of a we're gonna change some of the what you call it, the abilities.
Okay.
So we're gonna go to the High Clone Executor
Okay.
and take away Venom, and we're gonna go at the bottom and add Fury,
All right.
and then we're gonna go to the Mimetic Assassin and add Venom. Now you'll notice that at this point the Spires are a little bit ahead in points.
Mm.
Next milestone, we're only going to be adding very few things, right? Next milestone, of course, you can choose to add a little bit less. Most other factions are going to be at 1800. This is mostly to give you enough time to paint the avatar because they're big models. There's a lot of detail involved. So if you think that this is exceeding the points quite a bit, you can try out a different configuration. I can tell you from experience that at this point, as we're in the final stretch, it won't really make a difference. So don't worry about it. You're still playing the game in a balanced way. We care about what we have ready for the final
For for the final
milestone.
milestone. I suppose if people are playing with their friends and they are
Mhm.
concerned about that, they could always drop a stand or two off some of the other units and just bring it
Yeah.
slightly closer then. So
At this point, if you
yeah.
want to bring them, if you want to bring them up to balance, you can remove a stance from the Vanguard clones in the High Clone Executor's regiment,
Mhm.
right? So the reason we suggest we have given the list as it is of course it's up to you how to build it. It's about you getting grasp with the
Yeah.
rules as we said before. So yeah, if you want to save some points, you can take off some stands from the Vanguard clones, and you're going to be fine. No problem.
Okay. And how would I be using the Avatara in
So the
game
avatar,
terms?
what you could do, let's go in the central column and click on the
Mhm.
avatar on their box, and you'll notice that on the right we get their stats. Now overall, you'll see that they're a very all-rounded regiment. However, you'll notice that they have really high defense of 4,
Mhm.
and really high resolve. Now that's very important because in Conquest, every time you take damage from close combat, you also roll a resolve test for every wound that you've taken. Now, every failed resolve test, right, is another wound. So,
Right.
but having really high defense and really high resolve makes them an incredibly tough and resilient line unit. They're going to be there to protect your flanks, and at the same time, having cleave 1 gives them an absolute edge against most regiments. They're even against Steel Legion, they're still getting a defense of 2, and they still have a resolve of 4. I wouldn't suggest throwing them against Steel Legion, but worst case scenario, they're still going to be able to hold their ground. Movement is high up, so March value is 7, so you can get a lot of you can get some really long charges in there.
Hmm.
So use them to keep your flanks, to hold your flank. It's very important that they're medium regiments, and whenever you find the opportunity, you can go for it. You can break out, and you can keep them alive by killing them with the using the drones. Now, if we click on the Lineage Highborne, you're going to notice that the Lineage Highborne has some pretty high stats itself.
Yeah.
Resolve of 5. The Resolve of 5 is important because it shares that with the regiment, right? So one of the two regiments becomes even tougher. Or of course, if you wanna combine, let's say, if you only want to play one regiment to save points, right? Or just play one regiment of 4 stands, just if you want to cut down on some
Sure.
points, right? You're gonna have a very tough regiment to crack.
Yeah. So they wouldn't be a mainline anvil per se because you could still take a lot of people will funnel a lot of damage into them, I suspect, if you try and use them like an anvil, but being able to both be punched and counter punch makes them perfect flanking units where they can just go out a bit further away from the main line and hold up and stall where they need to.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you'll notice that the avatar are 55 points each.
Mm-hmm.
So in this particular setup, if you take one regiment of avatar and make it up to 4 stands and remove the other one, then you'll find yourself at 1805 and about 10 points there. So
Okay.
you're gonna be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can chop and change. I think that at this stage where we're coming so close to the end, being a bit flexible and just playing around with what you have when you hit these milestones is the key thing. Don't be too worried about being hard and fast on points values. Just get the miniatures built and painted and on the table, and start pushing some toy soldiers around. So yeah, it's nice to see them arriving into my list. I thought I may have seen them earlier, but I was getting fat up on clones and drones. So Milestone 5 is one I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on the figures and painting them. So I suppose I should get on with that. Leo, thank you very much for your time and effort. And I'll see you when we come to Milestone 6.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.